Yeah. Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love, your mind.
When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile.
Todd's a joy.
Yes.
Todd really is a great joy.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
We come out here and dominate.
The preseason is in full swing.
Come here to look good and play good.
Week 2, and NFL Network has 6 live games.
Touchdown!
The NFL preseason, live on NFL Network. 6 live games.
Your season starts now with NFL Plus Premium. Get access and coverage to all 49 preseason games. See the future stars shine bright. Watch the NFL preseason with NFL Plus Premium. Sign up today. Watch the NFL preseason with NFL Plus Premium. Sign up today.
Hey everybody, this is Good Morning Football. Indeed it is. We are presented by our friends at Harbor Freight. We are also live here in Los Angeles. I'm Jamie Erdahl. This is Akbar Bajabiamila, Peter Strager, and Kyle Brandt out in New York City. Akbar Pop Quiz. Yeah. It's Thursday on GMFB. What do we do on Thursdays?
Thursdays, Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, we can. Okay, that's fine.
Thursday. That's right.
That's true. We can do that. But we also play our Throwdown as well. All right, Throwdown Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Throwdown Thursday.
Yes, it's a game because we always, if we nothing else, we play a game here on GMFB. We start with the lead block as we play Throwdown Thursday with brutal news for Vikings fans. Feels like continuing to unfold. Their rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy will miss the entire season after undergoing a full meniscus repair. That means that Sam Darnold will be the Vikings starter, which was a little bit expected, at least to start the season. But the fact that you know that McCarthy is now down for the entire season makes you think differently about this team. McCarthy posted this on Instagram. Marcus Aurelius, quote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." He posted a bunch of pictures that goes along with this. I already know Kyle wants to have takes on a Marcus Aurelius quote, but we have to move on to Throwdown Thursday. Meanwhile, the Steelers wrapped up camp yesterday in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Russell Wilson has been dealing with a calf injury, but he's putting out nothing but positive vibes after practice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working every single day. Even the days I was a little bit lighter in team, I was just getting all the fundamental work. And then obviously over the past 2 weeks, really been building up a lot more reps in the team drills and everything else. That's been great. Been full for the past several days and everything else. So feel really good. I'm ahead of schedule.
Okay, Throwdown Thursday. Between those two topics, Russell Wilson on his third team looking for a redemption season after how things went down in Denver. Sam Darnold now on his fourth team, replacing or taking on the job that J.J. McCarthy was fighting for. Who is in a better situation to resurrect their career? Akbar, you go first.
I'm going to go Russell Wilson. But I think the narrative is kind of all messed up around, Russell Wilson. I think a lot of people look at Russell Wilson going, oh, it was such a bad year. Like, look at the numbers that he put up. They weren't bad like that. You know what I mean? And especially when you look at the back half of the season where they went 6-1. But this whole thing got out about Russell Wilson, and people are starting to identify him being an older veteran as being washed up. No, the dude can still produce, but I think now that he's in a better situation, a better environment, I think the marriage between him and Sean Payton just wasn't a good one. I'm at an age now where I know people who've gone through a couple of marriages already. You know what I mean? And they're on their second and third one, and somehow the second and third one hit. You know what I mean? And so I think this marriage right here, this third one, is going to hit. His first one was successful, but then it broke down. Second one, it was contentious from the beginning. It all started with The Office. You know what I mean? And now he's got a new place to set up shop, and I love what he has surrounding him, from Pickens, maybe an Ayuk, Najee Harris. He's in a good situation to really produce.
I love what Akbar's saying, and I'm rooting for Russell Wilson to do that. I don't think the stain of that Denver experience should be what we remember him for. We should remember him for his flourishing career in Seattle, and then hopefully he can turn it around in Pittsburgh. But talking about situation, has anyone been dropped in a more advantageous situation than Sam Darnold? You're talking about an offensive head coach in Kevin O'Connell, who's viewed as one of the best offensive minds in football. You're talking about a former longtime journeyman, just like Darnold's been, in Josh McCown as his quarterback's coach. 2 elite first-round wide receivers in Addison and Jefferson, and then a good running back and a great
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out there. Behind his seat, and these comments this is a make or break season. He's got to make an impact. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. Yeah, you know, it's August 15th. It's down in Miami here. I'll tell you right now, it's hot. Kids are back in school, first day in school, and blazing. Walk around, sweating. Feels like football, obviously, but I got to tell you, growing up in the Northeast, football season, the fall starts coming around, like August, late August, September starts feeling good. Football's back in action. Yes, it is in the live stream right now. If you're just watching right now, welcome back to the show. Again, it's August 15th. We're heading through the week. It's Thursday. Hope everybody right now is ready to go for football season. We got a lot to talk about today. I got my coffee lined up, as I always do, right in the morning. I hope you guys are ready to go in the live stream right now. Put NFL in the chat right now. And if you want to, put hashtag Chargers, because we're talking about the Chargers this morning. Let me tell you something. It's interesting. It's conversation we got to talk about. You know, when I bring it to you, I bring you the tea. And I don't bring it to you in a soft way. I bring it to you the right way to let you know the truth, unbiased, real opinion. And right now we got the Chargers. Head coach Jim Harbaugh has offered Colin Kaepernick another opportunity to come back to the NFL. And we're going to dive into that right now. We're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick. We're going to talk about the fact that he wants to still play football. And people are like, that time has passed. Some people are like, Colin Kaepernick can still play. A lot of people believe that he got gypped. A lot of people think that all things happen for the right reasons. So I'm going to dive into it right now. And we're going to bring you everything from an unbiased standpoint. So let's dive into this right now. So Jim Harbaugh, Chargers' new head coach, left Michigan, goes out to L.A. They used to be the San Diego Chargers. I love saying that, San Diego Chargers, right? And now that's the Los Angeles Chargers. Got to get that right all the time. Now don't screw that up just like we do with the Washington Commanders instead of being the Redskins. But right now, they offer him to join the Chargers. Now, the question is, right now, what is the reason behind it? Obviously, they've been connected for years. We're going back all the way to Michigan, all the way to the 49ers, and all the way now to the point where Kaepernick has been out of football for a pretty long time. And Jim Harbaugh is like, hey, I may have an opportunity for you. So what I'm going to do right now, without further ado, I'm going to give you the honest, unbiased truth of how I feel. And this isn't going to be from any perspective. A lot of people get on here and say what they got to say, but I'm going to tell the truth. When I think about this situation, I just think of complete failure. Now, I like Jim Harbaugh, and Colin Kaepernick was not bad. He was an NFL quarterback. I like Jim Harbaugh. Michigan left there with a national championship. We're going to that too, why he left and how fast he left and why that was important that he left. But this could potentially be the wrong decision to bring back a quarterback who I know that you like. I know that Harbaugh thought he was a good person. Harbaugh believed in him, and rightfully so. He knows him better than most people probably do, and he's measuring that from a perspective that might make sense to him. But we have to understand something. The whole situation, Harbaugh moving out there for a better opportunity back in the National Football League where his brother with the Ravens, they're up there. These are some of the creme de la creme, some of the coaches that do phenomenal. And I think that there's a lot riding on this season for his legacy. I think if Harbaugh was done at Michigan, which we're going to the second, his legacy would retire as a pretty substantial coach with a great background, tons of history behind what he's done, all the accolades, and you will go back and believe that, wow, that man was superb. In this position, he has an opportunity to make an impact in the National Football League in a lot of ways, which if it turned out great, he would make an impact. If it turns out unsuccessful and there's problems and there's media and there's attention and it's distracting, then I think he could tarnish his legacy. Just call it like it is. That's going to be first and foremost out there right now. If you're in the live stream, I welcome you guys here into the chat. Welcome back to the show. And again, put NFL in the chat. Hashtag right now Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. That's how we get it to spread amongst the social media for people to time in as soon as we get forward. We're going to live stream, obviously, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, those hashtags be popping up all through social media to help that expand. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, first things first, that. And I look at the situation and I go, I know that Jim Harbaugh is probably trying to do the right thing in his beliefs. And I think that's where you come into a position where you say, I coach this guy, I coach this kid, I like this kid, and I think he's trying to offer an opportunity. Now, here's the concern. Jim Harbaugh wants to bring him back as a coach, had mentioned opportunity to come in and coach on the team. I'm like, I don't know about that. And then Colin Kaepernick was thinking about it, quote unquote, thinking about it. But the problem is Colin Kaepernick still wants to play football. We're talking about a guy who's been out of football now for a substantial 7 years or more, or whatever the case may be. Listen, when I looked at what he did, it wasn't like he played bad. It wasn't like he was a bad quarterback, and I'm not saying that whatsoever. And I pull up the stats here in his career. He threw for over 12,000 yards. I believe he played from 2011 to 2016 with the 49ers. There were some years here he did better than others. I mean, 12,000 yards, from what I'm reading, is like, hey, you got to the NFL, you played football, you played for the 49ers, you threw for 12,000 plus yards. What do we got for touchdowns? Let me line that up right now, too. I got on here 72 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. I don't know. Completion percentage I see on here. Ratings 88. I mean, it wasn't like he was a bad quarterback. We're going to go into right now why there's some concerns about some questions. Okay, right now, here's where we go. How Colin Kaepernick lost his NFL career, right? Let's be real here. Everyone, no hard feelings. I'm going to tell you like it is, and this is straight from the heart. This is no hard feelings. But Colin Kaepernick lost his career because of pretty much this, right? Let's be honest. Colin Kaepernick stepped on the field and turned his football career into a different type of movement, right? Different rights, racial type of things, quote unquote, political attributes here, doing what he believed was right at the time. And I'm not knocking him at all. If that's what he chose to do, that's what he chose to do. The problem where I see what he chose to do has nothing to do with what his mindset was. If you have a great mindset, you want to change the world, you want to stand up for certain rights, or you want to kneel for certain rights. I don't see anything wrong with that. If you want to do that as a movement, a political rights movement, a civil rights movement, whatever you want, a racial movement, if that's your opportunity in life, if that's what you were born to do, you feel like that's part of your future and what you need to do, I don't see anything wrong with that. Where I see a problem with that is on the football field. Now, again, I'm going to say it again. I don't see a problem with what he was trying to do and what he wanted to do and what he believed was going to be good for him. Where the problem comes into is you're doing it on the football field and you're doing it during the national anthem, which is very hard for most of the world to understand. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't have the right mindset. I'm not saying that what he wanted to do was a bad thing. I'm not even diving into that right now. What I'm talking about is you start doing that, right? And I have some pictures here to pull up. You start doing that. And at first you're like, okay, I'm doing that for myself. And then it turns into, okay, now I got a movement going, right? Now I got a movement going. And people, if you agree with me in the chat, put yes. Put Y in the chat if you agree with me. Put N if you do not. I want to know how you guys feel. And toward the end of the show here, your messages will be on the screen. I want to see what you guys think. If you believe what I'm saying is true. Y if yes, and if not. This is what it turns into, right? And then it keeps on growing, and it keeps on moving. And then you got more people and more people doing this. Now, is that a bad thing for the right cause? Absolutely not. If you believe that you're doing the right thing and you want to stand up for whatever background or whatever you want to do, I think you should absolutely do that. I think everyone should have a voice. You should do that. The problem is doing this during a football game, during the national anthem. The NFL fans are standing up for the national anthem. You got someone coming into the stadium to sing the national anthem. White, black, Spanish, whatever the case may be, different types of people coming in singing the national anthem on the field at the 50-yard line, and the whole world's doing it. And the camera, instead of the camera being on that singer and the camera being in the stadium enjoying that moment and the camera looking around at the entire organization, which the owners of the organization are excited about, right? All the fans, their butts in seats. The cameras are sitting there and focused on this. And that's a problem because that turns the NFL into a whole nother type of stratosphere. And that's where the problem came in for Colin Kaepernick. It wasn't the fact that his beliefs were in the way. It wasn't the fact that what he deserved to do or wanted to move on was bad. It was the simple fact that it turned into a quick media stunt, and maybe he didn't intend to make it like that, or maybe he did. But at the end of the day, it turned into a complete media, situation where all the eyes are on Colin Kaepernick, all the eyes are on all the players kneeling on the field. All the eyes are on what is Colin Kaepernick doing? He's the leader of the 49ers. He is the quarterback of the team, a good team at that, and a big-time organization. And then you're like, okay, what is going on with the National Football League? What's going on with the NFL? And it turned to an entire eyes-on-me situation. And again, if he was doing that for the right reasons, I'm not knocking Colin Kaepernick at all. What I'm saying is it is a major distraction. If he wanted to do this after the game and he wanted to prove something after the game and did a whole thing or started a YouTube channel or started a show or started anything on his own time and created this big thing, a lot of people would have looked at it and agreed or disagreed. The problem is he did this on the football field during the times where people were paying big-time ticket sales, right? Money, the organization, again, putting butts in seats. It's a business. And so therefore, those people are sitting there like, okay, this is what I hired you to do, Colin Kaepernick, and this is not what you are doing, right? In the live stream, if you're watching this right now, you're in the Mason Mob, drop the dice in the chat right now. We appreciate you joining us live on the stream. And if you're watching this after the fact, please let us know how you feel about this, because I'm giving you the unbiased opinion without coming from this any direction, any racial situation, or how I feel. I played football, so I completely get it. Coming out with your team, the camaraderie, what you're trying to build. And then on top of that, you got certain people kneeling, certain people standing. So now I'm sure Colin Kaepernick's like, yo, kneel with me. Like, kneel with me. And those players that are not kneeling, he's like, okay, you're not with me. Or maybe he didn't say that. But I would imagine it would cause a distraction on your team. It can be a cancer in your team. And again, when I say cancer on your team, I'm not saying what he was doing is bad. Before people start saying, oh, you're not Colin Kaepernick, you don't agree with this move and that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're hired to do a job. So imagine right now you work for AT&T. Okay, you work and you sell cell phones, or you sell wireless service, or whatever you want to do. And then all of a sudden, when you come in for work, right, on your break, you're kneeling out front on the pavement, or you're kneeling on the curb, or you're kneeling in the store, or whatever the case may be. Now, listen, is it a bad thing? You want to do it in your own time? No problem. But you're doing it on business hours, and you're doing it before the game. Right now, if you're selling cell phones, you're doing it as someone's coming in to connect two phones, whatever the case may be, iPhones if you want. When you're doing that, the problem is you are becoming a distraction to the store, and you're becoming a distraction to people around you, people that are paying to be in there for service, people that are working there, and it's becoming a distraction, and then it becomes a cancer. And that is why Colin Kaepernick is not playing football right now, or was not playing in those years anymore, because he put that on himself. Now, was it a bad thing for his pocket? Maybe not. Maybe this turned out better. Maybe for Colin Kaepernick, this turned out in a better situation, that he walked away from football, not having concussions, not getting hit every play, not running in the hot sun, not playing in the playoffs when it's freezing cold and late in the season, January, not playing out there running around, dealing with problems in press conferences and having to go through, double sessions or OTAs or weightlifts training. Maybe he didn't have to do that. And maybe for him, his life might have even turned out better. But all I'm saying is, from a standpoint of now, that Jim Harbaugh is like, we're going to bring you back in business. What I got to say to that is, I think that might be ludicrous. And what I mean that with the utmost respect, and it has nothing to do with anything outside of the fact that the distraction you could bring into a new team with the Chargers. You're up there, you left Michigan, you're there, and now you have an opportunity to build another team, and now this could happen. So let's move on to a quick piece of the pie here. Well, Jim Harbaugh build the Chargers. Now, Jim Harbaugh was an excellent coach. Obviously, we just talked about that. Excellent coach at Michigan. We're going to go into in a second of why he left so quickly and how smart it was to leave so quickly. But at the end of the day, Jim Harbaugh is out there to build the Chargers. And I look at his team. I look at how much he loves his quarterback, right? And I got some pictures here that I'm going to pull up of him and Herbert and how they're going to do this season, what they look like. And here's what I loved. I saw him out there with Herbert there, and I said, you know what? I think that Justin Herbert, they got a relationship that Jim Harbaugh is ready for him to do well, excited about him doing well. Here's a quick little FaceTime shot of him being like, this is my guy. And the message was, they are relentless. The message that he gave to his quarterback and gave to the media is, we are relentless, and he believes in Justin Herbert to the absolute fullest. So I think Jim Harbaugh has one hell of an opportunity out there with an excellent quarterback guy he can build around. But I think bringing Colin Kaepernick into the picture is going to be very concerning for a lot of reasons. A, you're going to bring him in to do what? Right, that's a question. And again, this was something that at the beginning of the year, they offered Kaepernick, and then maybe he said he's going to think about it. He might do it or might not do it. But at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick wants to play football, not coach. So to bring in Colin Kaepernick, the coach, would be like, what position would he be coaching? Quarterback? So now he's going to be a quarterback coach of Justin Herbert or an offensive coordinator or whatever. I think all of this, being honest right here, I think this could be a major distraction, a major problem. And in the chat right now, I put out there, should Colin Kaepernick come back and play football? Should he come back? Should the Chargers bring him back? Like I said, I'm not knocking the opportunity. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be great to have a success story to someone who was athletic, that had every opportunity, that kind of the political stuff kind of got in the way at the wrong times. I'm not knocking him whatsoever. What I'm saying is this a smart decision for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers to bring him into the organization? Now, did Harbaugh leave Michigan at the right time? Right? Like, he was the guy. He was who people loved. Michigan was balling. They won some excellent games. They won a national championship game last year against Washington. Did Jim Harbaugh leave at the right time? And there's a picture right there. Jim Harbaugh coming out with the posse, right? Coming through the tunnel, coming on the field. Some of these pictures, I got to tell you, are simply iconic. And when I say that, when I say Jim Harbaugh, the coach, when I think of football, when I think of, sometimes I compare the NFL to college football, I go, college football has that the band is playing. Dun, dun, dun. You just feel good out there with the band, right? You feel good with the people in the area growing up outside Michigan, our fans, out there. And I feel like the blue, the gold, they got this kind of symbol of that university. And as you go around the world, not just Michigan, we're talking Ohio State, we're talking about Penn State, we're talking about Notre Dame, we're talking about tons of schools all the way. I don't want to forget anybody. You go to Florida, you can go to USC, you can go all around the country. Texas, not forgetting anybody on purpose. I'm just giving some schools out there right now. There's a feeling behind college football that is so important even for the young kids to get started, because let me tell you something. 18 years old, you show up. I showed about 17, turn 18 years old, you show up. College teaches you a lot. And then college football teaches you, I think, a lot more, because you got to be on time. You got to be disciplined. You're going to go through war. You're going to go through fights. A lot of things in the chat right now. What do you like more, college football, put NCAA, or put NFL? I want to see what you guys think. A lot of people prefer NFL, but college football is great. Do you like NFL more or NCAA? Drop it in the chat right now. What I believe is really going on is Jim Harbaugh left at the correct time. Why? And he also made some agreements that, hey, when I take this deal or leave this deal, whatever, I don't want to be pinpointed for certain problems with the organization. And they're still chasing shit with Jim Harbaugh right now. Like, they're still looking into evidence of recruiting and what they did and problems and misunderstandings, and if they got too early started or they got too started late or whatever the case may be, or players' compensation. Like, Jim Harbaugh left college football where, let's be honest, you're dealing with younger guys, you're dealing with money, you're dealing with NIL, you're dealing with all kinds of stipulations that people are still not understanding. Like, NIL, people are like, what is NIL? Like, oh, name, image, and likeness. Like, okay. Like, no one understands that, because the boundary behind paying college players, not paying them, what can they eat, what can they drink, where can they go, when can they travel, can they get a gift, do I have to show up for the gift, do they sign autographs? Like, all this stuff is a problem, and I think Jim Harbaugh was like, I'm out of here, I'm going to the NFL where I can worry about older, mature players. Obviously, no hard feelings. I went to college. I was immature at a young age also. Whether it was high school or before that, get to college, you get older, you get more mature. Getting into the National Football League, things change a lot. And I got pictures down here of him, showing up at Michigan and balling. But now, being that he's in the NFL, he's going to deal with big-time contracts, players, money, all that's going to go on, all this kind of jazz. It's not going to be a problem paying college players and what's going on, and are they looking at him for what he did recruiting-wise and yada, yada, yada. He's gone. And now let's move on to a piece of the pie that we got to talk about. Speaking of Michigan, we got some breaking news. Obviously, people have been talking about now for a little bit. J.J. McCarthy is out for entire 2024 NFL season. So people that love the Vikings, I know Annie in the live stream loves the Vikings. Other people that like the Vikings are pretty upset about that. But J.J. McCarthy is out for the year with a meniscus tear that will go through and fix that surgically. I will tell you this. A meniscus tear is not out of the ordinary. A lot of people have a meniscus tear and they're still playing on it right now and have no idea that there is actually a problem. I tore my ACL, meniscus, MCL, PCL. Like my knee damn near was broke in half on the field. I got up and I came walking up the field. People were like, okay, he's fine, until your knee swells up like a balloon and you can't do shit. They find out you need to have surgery. All your ligaments are screwed up. But not knocking J.J. McCarthy. I'm not saying that's the case. What I'm saying is J.J. McCarthy, it's unfortunate, Michigan product, obviously with Jim Harbaugh, gets out there and has an opportunity. Guys like Blake Corum now in the NFL as well from Michigan produce a lot of great talent. Jim Harbaugh did going into the NFL. So the reason why this is important is he produced a lot of significant talent of players that are going out there. So him to go out there and say we're taking Colin Kaepernick and bringing him into the picture is just like, I would be a little cautious, right? Like I would be a little cautious and I would think twice about how I maneuvered in that position. Will the Chargers make the playoffs this season in 2024? Will they make the playoffs? This is what you're looking at right now with the Chargers. You got Kansas City, problem, right? Raiders potentially could be a problem also. And the Broncos, I think the Broncos are still trying to find their identity. I'll be honest. I think the Broncos are one of those teams where it's just like, damn, like they just haven't, they go through quarterbacks yearly, right? Like every year. I mean, even Flacco was out there. They got another guy now, and then you had Russell. Wilson was out there. He's out with the Steelers. They literally go through changes a lot. And Jim Harbaugh now out there with the Chargers has an opportunity with an excellent quarterback in Herbert. I think he'll play well. I think Herbert will have a pretty successful career. But the problem the Chargers now have is, and I want to say this with the utmost respect. In the chat, will the Chargers make the playoffs this year? Yes or no? And I have, before I get to that, I got the schedule here, actually, of the Chargers. We can pull it up right now, and we can see who they're playing just to get an idea. Here it is, completely down here. Raiders, Panthers, Steelers, Chiefs have a bye week, and they play the Broncos. Not terrible start. I mean, obviously, Chiefs, tough team. Then you got the Cardinals, Saints, Browns. You got, look at this right here, the Titans, Bengals, Ravens. And then we go to the Falcons, Chiefs again, Buccaneers, Broncos again, Patriots, Raiders again. So, at the end of the day, schedule is, right down the road. There's some excellent teams that'll be there, and there's some great talent, but will they make the playoffs? I think the problem now, and I want to say this with the utmost respect to the Chargers and also to Jim Harbaugh, but him wanting to move to another team, get out there and be back in the NFL, obviously, and being with the Chargers on a big stage, National Football League, and they left San Diego. They had a lot of changes right there. They get out to L.A., big time change right there. Welcome to Hollywood, right out in Los Angeles. All eyes on me. Then they bring in Jim Harbaugh, right? Because Herbert is there. Now they bring in Harbaugh, and you're like, this team has potential. But now to say, hey, we are going to offer Colin Kaepernick something, there's going to be a lot of fans out there that are going to be like, whoa. This ownership, too, is probably like, whoa. Unless they're on board with that, I don't know. But I would say that Jim Harbaugh is a guy that could bring the Chargers in the right position and help build them grow pretty substantially and get to the playoffs and be a substantial team, a contender in the next couple years. But if you factor in bringing in Colin Kaepernick and you're talking about coaching or you're talking about playing again, I think what you're doing is you're taking all the media and the excitement away from your football team, which needs it and deserves it, and you're there for the right reasons. And you're spinning that media again, the conversation, all offseason. Chargers are building after the draft, showing up. They got some great talent. And then all offseason, you're ready to go. And now you're getting into, obviously, you go through OTAs, training there. You got guys coming in, and you're in summer camp, and now you're getting ready to roll into the season. And then the media, instead of the media spiking and talking about the Chargers and how great they can be and who they got, and Justin Herbert has come back to lead the attack, and he's ready to go, and he's healthy, and the offensive line has been looking good, and we got a great running back, and we're ready to do this and that. And I got the roster here to pull up of the Chargers as well. I'm looking at the receiver core. Instead of looking into that right now, we're getting hype and hoorah from the media about the possibly opportunity of, Colin Kaepernick coming back and joining the staff or playing. I mean, I'm looking at the running back, Gus Edwards. I mean, look, you got some great players. DJ Chuck. You got Joshua Palmer, another wide receiver. You got some new draft picks that came into the building. And I go down, you got some defensive players. Khalil Mack, they just brought over from the Bears. Denzel Perryman. They got some players here, and I can go through the whole thing. Obviously, a lot of guys. I think the Chargers have an opportunity. But to do that, and if you agree with what I'm saying right now, please let me know in the live stream right now. Drop a Y for yes if you agree. Put an N for no if you do not agree. Drop it right now. And yes, we're talking the Colin Kaepernick, the kneeling of Colin Kaepernick on the field during the American flag, the national anthem. Like, we can drop the flags in the chat too right now. I think that's important conversation right now, right? I think Jim Harbaugh is the guy to coach the Chargers. I think he's the guy to bring that team around. But bringing Kaepernick into the picture is very concerning for a lot of people. And I think it's the staff are going to be like, okay, we're bringing Colin Kaepernick on staff. Like, this is going to be a lot of media attention inside our locker. Then you're like, he wants to play quarterback. So now you got Colin Kaepernick, he's going to show up, help coach, but he's going to be is he working with the quarterback now with Justin Herbert? And then he also wants to play. So this could be the most interesting dynamic this year. I mean, outside of the two biggest things, which would be probably Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, what's going on there? Who's going to start there? And then we have Aaron Rodgers. Like, will he make it through the season? Is he good to ball out? Is he going to be great? Will the Jets be good? And then lastly, it's Jim Harbaugh offers Colin Kaepernick an opportunity to join the Chargers. And I would love to get Harbaugh on here. We are going to have some coaches coming on the platform. You guys will see this year as we build the program. We're going to have people coming into the morning show. We got coaches. We got NFL players. So, look, I'm giving it like it is. And I hate to even knock Jim Harbaugh because I give him a lot of praise, and I'm saying that he's phenomenal. I'm not knocking that at all. But I want to be very clear when I do stuff. I want to be very transparent, and I want to be unbiased and give you the information that I have that makes the most sense, because that's what makes this show great. I think that's so important, because if not, I'm doing you guys a disservice. But moving forward, I want to tell you guys right now, before we sign off on our show today, I want to tell you tonight we have the Eagles, the Patriots, live play-by-play tonight. I'm on here at 6:30. The game starts at 7 o'clock. I'm on here at freaking 6:30 live, ready to go. I want you guys to know that. I know we just finished up our conversation. If you just joined us right now, hit that like button. If you just came into the building, smack that like button right now, because we've been talking about Jim Harbaugh offering Colin Kaepernick an opportunity with the Chargers. And before I sign off today, I just want to tell you I'm live tonight for the play-by-play for the Eagles and the Patriots game live on this platform. If you want to have the play-by-play here, we got the live stream coming in. If it's your first time watching right now, make sure you subscribe to this platform, because it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. There's going to be thousands and thousands of people coming in here. We got preseason week 2 tonight on this channel right here, 6:30. The countdown starts. We'll be in here hanging out. Come here and hang out early. Get your food, get your drinks, get it all set up, and we'll be chatting right here on the live stream right now, like when we get in there at 6:30. Don't wait until 7 to come in here at kickoff. Come here at 6:30, hang out with me tonight for the watch party. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want you guys to know that. But listen, as we get ready to sign off, in the chat right now, put in here, tell me the truth. Do you think Jim Harbaugh should bring in Colin Kaepernick? Yes or no? Tell me, should Colin Kaepernick be back in the league? Should he coach? Should he play football? Is he a distraction? Like, don't take my word for it. I want to know what you guys think, because I want you guys to be more interactive with me. And when I start calling you guys into the show, you guys are going to pop on here with me and say some things. What do you guys got to say right now before we sign off? I got you all set up. Anything you guys want to say right now that you said or haven't said, leave it in there right now, because I want to make sure that we see it. Make sure you put a hashtag in front of your message. If you put a hashtag in front of your message in the live stream right now, I can see it. The world can see it, because I'm going to click on it and pull it up on the screen right freaking now while we're talking about it. Let me see here. There we go. Right now, if you guys got something to say about this, Jim Harbaugh, should he offer Kaepernick an opportunity? Should Kaepernick come in and play? Should Kaepernick come in and coach? In the chat right now, anything you said before during the show that didn't get addressed, copy and paste it and put the hashtag in front of it, and I'll put it up on the screen right now. How you guys doing if you're watching it live? How are you guys doing? Good morning, MJ, Candy, Pipple Mama, Brian, Brenda, Jeff Lee, Brittany's in here, everyone in here, Tracy. Good morning to you. I'm going through the list right now. Everybody that's coming into the live stream, want to say I greatly appreciate everybody. Annie, what's going on? Chrome's in the building. How you doing, Chrome? You know I got something for you, Chrome. You know I got something for you.
Make some noise!
And we're coming into the building right now. Jeff Lee, we're getting your star lined up for your emoji live on the platform. If you're watching us live right now, I greatly appreciate you. And if you're watching it later, not watching it live, leave your message on here and let us know what you think right now. And I'm looking right here on here. Let me see what you guys got to say. Drop it on here right now. Drop it on here right now. I'm going to send it right here into the live stream. What we got? Brian's got something to say. What are you saying? Okay, being offended fuels his fame. Being offended fuels his fame. Is that right? So what you're saying is that basically Colin Kaepernick, does he have a better opportunity in the situation? Let me know right now. You see the message on the screen? Does Colin Kaepernick have a better opportunity or a worse opportunity right now, right? Like people coming in saying, hey, you're not, that great. You shouldn't be there. Or why did you do X, Y, Z? Like, let us know right now. If you're in a live stream right now, drop it in there. We see a message on here. I'm going to move this screen out the way right here and see what you guys are saying. Jeff Lee, I appreciate you. I appreciate that message. It says, great show, Brandon. Thank you, Jeff. I greatly appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Anybody coming on here right now, drop your message in the chat. Do not wait. I want to know what you guys think about this. Should Kaepernick come back and play? Should the Chargers offer him a chance to coach? Because that's what's happening right now. Legit right now, they are looking at opportunities for him to really get out there and coach or play again. And I'm just like, there's some interesting things out here going. Anybody else got something? Drop it in the chat right now. Don't hold back. Put a hashtag in front of your message and it will pop up on the screen. What we got right here for us. If you ignore him, he will go away. He didn't hurt anybody. Okay, so here's the thing. I believe this to be true. He kneeled on the field. He didn't hurt anybody. And I agree with this message on the screen right now. He didn't hurt anybody. So look, if you ignore him, he goes away. If you keep talking about him, right, if they keep bringing him up, and now all of a sudden Jim Harbaugh's like, let's bring him in. I agree with you. If you don't ignore him, if you do ignore the situation, he'll go away. This whole thing won't keep on flocking and flaming all the time. I have to agree with that. Another message right here came in from Brittany. Let me read this message on the screen. My eyes are a little shitty, so we're going to do our best to read everything that we got going on here in the live stream. But here we go. The problem is activism is being associated with the flag. Here we go, right here. Patriotism. Sorry if I can't read patriotism. Sorry, my eyes are messed up. Which is why it shouldn't be done during the national anthem. And I'm reading that too. And look, I got to agree with that part, that piece of the pie there. Like, if you're doing it during the national anthem, the problem is, instead of people looking at the flag and people singing, that whole situation, that beautiful song, people are singing all that. The problem is, while you're doing that, right, while this is happening, they got the media on Colin Kaepernick. The fans, the camera was on Colin Kaepernick, and the fans were not looking at the national anthem or clapping, give a round of applause for that. They're like, I wonder what he's going to do today. Like, we're coming out, let's see if he kneels today. Like, that became a problem for a lot of people. I have to agree 100%. Like, that became a problem. Anybody else that's got anything to say, drop it right now in the chat so I can pull it up on the screen. That's the whole point. Leave a message and hashtag in the chat NFL, because NFL is back, baby. Let me pull it up on the sheet. Great show as usual. Tracy, thank you. I'll be here tonight. Listen, I cannot wait. We got the Eagles coming tonight. Eagles and the Patriots. I know. Tracy is pumped, big time Eagles fan. We're going to be here rocking and rolling tonight at 6:30. You guys better all be in the live stream for the game tonight. What we got here? Absolutely, Brent. I got it right here. Even I guess Candy agrees with the situation, right? Like, Candy actually agrees with it too. The problem that comes down to it is you're kneeling on the field during the national anthem. And so you're the quarterback. If you were kneeling in the background, no one ever saw you. I think people will look at it and be like, okay, it will kind of get passed by, but you're kneeling in front of everybody. You're the quarterback. You're the sheriff in town. People are watching you regardless what you're doing for the game. Here we go. We cannot be more opposite on this. So tell us Brian, tell us how you feel about it right now, Brian. You think that it was right or wrong to kneel in the chat? And do you think that he deserves a chance to play or to coach? Brian, drop it in the chat. I want to know what you think right now. Drop it in the chat right now. I want to see what you think. Another message coming in right now. And unbiased. Whatever you guys say, I'm pulling it up. I'm unbiased. I want to know what you guys think. Can't ignore the fact that he has been discriminated against by owners who claim, here we go, and decorate Shea Stadium with end racism. Okay, that makes sense. You're saying that we can't ignore that he's been discriminated against? You're saying that owners discriminated against him by race, but you said it says decorate Shea Stadium with end racism. So you're saying they said, you're out, but we're going to put end racism in the end zone? Like, is that what was going on? Like, he's gone, but they still put the whole situation in the end zone for people to see, but they don't bring him in. Are you saying that the actual teams, all the owners are racist against Colin Kaepernick? Is that what you're saying based on the race? Is that what you're saying, MJ? Let's see here. And he said here, he messed up. He messed up. You went about it in a way where he kneeled during that time. Instead of doing it on his own time, he did it during the games. And again, what he was trying to do, I'm not saying what he was trying to do was bad. I'm not saying that his movement was bad. What I'm saying is why he's not playing is he chose to do this in a manner during an opportunity where you were hired by an organization, paid a lot of money to play football, and I think that was the problem. And I made the comparison. I made the comparison to make it easy. I made this comparison to like you're working at AT&T and you're working in the store, you're selling cell phones, want to get away from football for a second. And then during your lunch break or whatever the case may be, you're kneeling out front of the building or kneeling inside of the store. It's just becoming a distraction. Whether you did it for the right reasons or the wrong reasons or you were correct on it, you got to be honest. One thing, it becomes a distraction. Now, if you were the backup left tackle and you were kneeling, probably would have went nowhere. Being the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise, the 49ers, and you're kneeling on the field, that's where I'm saying the problem came into play. Now, I'm not knocking what he was doing. I'm not knocking what his goal was. I'm not knocking what his movement is. I'm not knocking anything. As you know, for me, I'm the most unbiased, and I am 100% down the middle on everything. I am obviously biracial. I am white and black. I even got Spanish in my family. So because of that, I see the whole picture, and I think everybody should be treated in the right way. But it's just part of it. Let me see what's going on right now. MJ, what do we got saying here? Let me pull it up on the screen. What are we saying right here? Blacklisted for upsetting owners' profit stream. This is true. I don't know about the blacklisted part. But I will tell you, right, a lot of people that jumped on there and said, I'm not watching football anymore because Colin Kaepernick's kneeling on the field. I'm not watching NFL Network. I'm not watching ESPN, whatever the case may be. They're not watching these games, or they're definitely not watching the 49ers games at that point. They said that because of him. Are you saying that's the problem? Blacklisted and for upsetting the owners of the profit stream? They were not making the kind of money because he was doing that. You're saying they're upset about that? That could be a possibility. Everyone that's coming in here right now, let me see. Let me pull it up on here. We got another message here. I think it's important to have this conversation and leave it in the chat right now. Don't walk out of here without leaving your thoughts in here because I'm clicking on all of it right now to make sure. And we appreciate everybody in here that's giving your point because we want to know what you guys think. The flag stands for freedom and unity as Americans, which is exactly what he was trying to preach. Doing these events during the national anthem, it says on here, that was, I think, the concern, right? Doing it during the national anthem. And I think that's where I see, because I think he was looking at it like he didn't agree with the national anthem. He didn't agree with what was going on. That might be the situation. Anybody else that's got something? Let me see on here. What Elijah said, I'm back in the building. So glad to have you here. Let me get Brian's message back on me. I think it's important that we kind of understand everybody has a message. And then if you're watching this right now and you're live, put your damn message in the chat with a hashtag because I want to know what your opinion is, your thoughts on it. And if you're not watching it live, you better leave a message on the bottom of this video when it's over because we want to know what you're thinking. If you kneel down at my work, I'll join you. Hallelujah. Like, let's take a break, right? Like, look, someone takes a knee. Like, look, Brian's taking a knee. Anywhere you can get that break, he's taking that knee too, right? At the end of the day, look, you know what the reality is, right? Like, we got to be honest about one thing, right? Whether you agree with the movement or not. The reality is that when you do that, everyone looks at you, right? Like, what is Colin Kaepernick doing? Why is he taking a knee? He's kneeling. He's not kneeling right now. Oh, America, they're singing the national anthem. Now he is obviously kneeling for a cause, right? And I'm saying, I think everybody should do what they got to do. But what I'm saying is why he's no longer there. why they're not, why this could be a problem, why it could be a cancer in time. It could be, right? Why? Because all the eyes are going to be on Colin Kaepernick. That's going to be a problem for people, the media. And I know MJ just brought up the conversation with the stream, the money stream coming in. Here's another message coming on the screen right now. Let's see if we can get the whole thing on there. Let me see. He is disrespecting the flag with him kneeling during the national anthem, especially as a quarterback in the NFL. You guys agree with that? That's another message in the chat right now. Do you guys agree with that? I will tell you this. I know some people disagree. Some people do agree. If you're watching this right now, hit the like button right now. If you think this is an important conversation, hit the like button right now. If you're in this live stream to spread this, I want to see what people think about this. And in the chat, is he disrespecting the flag? He's literally kneeling during the national anthem. So the national anthem goes up. This is where everybody's singing. This is our country. This is what we believe in. Now, I'm not saying you got to do it for right cause. Maybe he disagrees with some of it with the flag. Maybe he has a disagreement. But everybody that's in the stadium is up there standing right like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag, right, or whatever, or singing our national anthem. They're up there doing the, oh, say, can you see? Like all these things are going on, and he's kneeling on the field going, I'm against all this shit. Meanwhile, all these people are paying ticket sales. They're showing up trying to watch a game. The owners need things to kind of come together. They want people in line. They want organization. They don't want people doing things to interrupt the fan base, right? Like this is a conversation that we really need to talk about right now. Another message coming in right now, loud and clear. Let's get it right now. I believe it's from Annie. Let me get your message right now. Do you think if he's allowed to play, will he still take a knee? Guys, in the chat right now, this is a question you got to answer. This is a great question, and this is a question that we need you guys to be active about right now in the live stream. The question is, do you think if he gets another opportunity, like if he gets hired to play, if he gets hired to coach, do you think Colin Kaepernick's going to come out there, and I hate to use the terminology, learned his lesson, because that's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying he learned the lesson or yada, yada, yada. What I'm saying is, do you think the conversations, look, we bring you back, but you're not kneeling during the national anthem, or you're in the locker room during the national anthem. What do you guys think? Yes or no in the chat. Put a Y in the chat if you think he's going to kneel. Put an N in the chat if you think he's not going to kneel during the national anthem. And I think this is a pretty damn good conversation right now. Annie, I appreciate that question right there. People should answer that. I want to know what you guys think about that. And then we have the last question coming in right now. Michael Vick got another job, and I felt fighting dogs is unforgivable. Yet standing up for discrimination is somehow dishonorable. The whole message, I need to make it smaller to read it, but I do see your message. It's somehow dishonorable. United we stand, divided we fall. I like that message in there is a very good, I think people should read that message in the chat right now. It is the font right there is too big to have the whole thing on the screen. You can see in the chat, MJW dropped it in there. United we stand, it said right there, or we fall. I like what he put in that message. And I think people do need to come together. People need to come together. We need to do the right thing. And that was our last message of the day. I think we should leave it at that. It was a really good one. And look, I give you my opinion on the situation, and I want to be extremely unbiased as possible. I think Colin Kaepernick could have been a great quarterback. He showed great opportunities athletically, throwing, making people miss, using his legs, a dual threat quarterback like we see in the National Football League today. Those are some of the best players, obviously, in the NFL right now, and Colin Kaepernick had every opportunity to do that after taking his kneeling on the field and doing XYZ, which I have his picture right here again, him standing, why he lost his NFL career. This is why. But I will tell you this, if I'm the owner, and I kind of have to put it in that perspective, and I'm always going to speak on the correct belief that I agree with, and I'm going to tell you the truth regardless, and I hope that everyone's friends after, and you guys understand what I'm saying here. The truth of the matter is, he's not playing football right now because of kneeling on the field. He was doing it for the right thing in his mind, or for the right, whatever he wanted to discover or prove. He was doing probably in his mind for the right reasons. But during the NFL national anthem, for people to have the eyes on you and create a movement during that, the truth is, MJ dropped it up, cost a lot of money to the owners. It costs a lot of money. So imagine you have a business and people are taking money from you. You're like, whoa, slow down, right? Like, even if you agree. So I understand there's a lot of people going back and forth on this, and the understanding of it is a little hard to depict, right? To choose a side. But I will tell you this. It is very hard for people in general to bring on someone who can become a distraction. Like, that's the God's honest truth. If you're going to become a distraction, that can be a serious problem. I appreciate you guys. Look, we're live tonight. I want you guys tonight in the live stream. If you're going to be there tonight, put a Y in the chat. If you're going to join me tonight, we have a live play-by-play tonight. We got the Eagles. We got the Patriots. Tonight, live. Everyone's going to be coming here, hanging out with us, watching the game. So make sure you're here. We had, 300-400 people in the live stream last time. And then we also had a bunch of people, especially for the NBA. We had thousands of people in the live stream. This is just preseason football. Again, tonight, 6:30. Make sure you are there. We are going to be rocking and rolling. I greatly appreciate you guys. When we sign off today, make sure you leave a message on the video. I'm telling you guys right now, make sure you leave a message on the video. When we sign off here, go back, refresh it, come back into this video. You will be able to leave a message underneath the video on the YouTube upload, not the live chat on the side, the YouTube upload. I want to see messages there. This is an interesting point. People will be coming in to talk about this. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tonight at 6:30. Be here for the live play-by-play. Eagles versus Patriots. See you guys soon.